Hello and welcome to my science tutorials. In today's video, we want to look at how to solve linear inequalities. So let's start by looking at an example. Assuming we have an example, 5x minus 2 is less than 8x plus 4. How do we solve an example like this? Now, whenever we have an example like this, the first thing we need to do is to group like terms. What do we mean by like terms? If we look at the equation that we have, we realize that 5x over here and 8x over here are the same because they have a variable attached to them. If we look at 4 and 2, they are also the same since they do not have any variable attached to them. So we need to group these guys together at one side. Now, with that in mind, the first thing we need to do is to maintain the 5x over here. Then we bring the 8x across the inequality sign. It becomes negative 8x less than, we maintain our 4 here and we send the negative 2 to the other side of the inequality sign. It becomes plus 2. So from here, we just go ahead and do simple arithmetic. 5x minus 8s will give me negative 3s less than 4 plus 2 will give me 6. Now from here, we divide both sides by negative 3 or the coefficient of x in order for us to just have the variable x standing alone. Now in solving inequalities, when you divide by a negative sign, the orientation of the sign changes or the sign changes. So over here we have a less than, but because we divided by negative 3, we're going to have a greater than sign over here, and then 6 divided by negative 3 will give us negative 2. So this becomes our answer for the first example. Now let's have a look at another example. Say example number 2. We have 2x plus 3 is greater or equal to 7x minus 1. Like we solved the first example, we're going to do the same thing. This time around, we're going to group like terms, but I'm going to move the 2x to the other side or to the right hand side of this inequality. So I maintain my 3 here. I bring the negative 1 across to this side or the left side. It becomes plus 1. Then I have greater or equal to 7x minus 2x. That is, we sent the 2x to the other side of the inequality sign. 3 plus 1 will give me 4, greater or equal to 7x minus 2x will give me 5x. From here, to have our x standing alone, we divide both sides by 5. And so we have our x to be equal to 4 over 5 over here. Now this is our answer. But if you want to write the x first, it means, let me use another color. If I want to write my x first, I need to write my x, and then I make sure that the sign is facing the number that it's facing. So if I have 4 over 5 over here, I need to make sure that over here, you can see that the sign is facing 4 over 5. I need to make sure it is facing 4 over 5 over here the same manner. I don't need to change it. Because if I'm writing x first, I need to make sure the back of the sign is towards the x, and then the 4 over 5, the sign is towards that one. Okay, so this becomes our answer. Either this side or this side, any of them is our answer. So let's go ahead and try more examples. Okay, so let's try example number 3. So we have 5 outside bracket 2x minus 3 is less than 2 inside bracket 1 minus x. So if you have a problem like this, how do we solve it? Now the first thing we do if you have a problem like this is to expand the bracket that we have. So we are going to use the number outside the bracket to multiply all the numbers inside the bracket. So 5 multiplied by 2 will give me 10x. 5 multiplied by 3 will give me negative 15, less than 2 multiplied by 1 will give me 2. 2 multiplied by x will give me negative 2x over here. Now I group like terms. I maintain my 10x over here, and I bring the negative 2x over here to the left side of the inequality sign, it becomes plus 2x. Then I have my 2 here. I send the negative 15 there, it becomes plus or positive 15. So 10x plus 2x will give me 12x less than 17 over here. So I now divide both sides by 12, both sides by 12. My s is less than my final answer, 17 over 12 as my answer. Alright, so now that we've been able to solve this, let me give you an example for you to try your hands on. So try to solve 6 minus 7x is greater than 3 outside bracket into bracket 2x plus 5. Pause the video and go ahead and solve this example. Okay, now let's go ahead and find a solution. Because we have the bracket on the right hand side, we need to expand it. So first of all, we maintain the 6 minus 7x over here on our left hand side, and then we expand the bracket. 3 multiplied by 2 will give us 6s, and then 3 multiplied by 5 will give us 15, positive 15. Like I said, we group like terms. You can group like term any way you want, but for me in this case, I will send the negative 7x to the right hand side. So I maintain my 6 here, and I bring the 15 to the left hand side, it becomes negative 15. Over here it's positive, so we need to make sure when we cross the inequality sign, it becomes negative. I have my 6s over here, then I bring the 7s, it becomes plus 7x. Now 6 minus 15 will give me negative 9, greater than 6s plus 7x will give me 13x. So I now divide both sides by 13. Now note, because I'm not dividing by negative 13, the sign will not change. So my answer will be negative 9 over 13 is that of x. Or if I write s first, then I need to make sure the sign is facing the negative 9 on 13, as I can see over here on the left hand side. So this is my answer. Now let's go ahead and solve one final example. Okay, so we have to solve for y in this inequality. So we have 2y plus 9 is less than 5y plus 15. Okay, so just like the way we solve for x, we're going to do the same thing for the y. So first of all, we group like terms. So I'm going to maintain my 2y here. Then I bring the positive 5y to the other side, becomes negative 5y less than, I maintain my 15, then I send the 9 to the other side, it becomes negative 9. So 2y minus 3y, minus 5y will give me negative 3y less than 15 minus 9 will give me 6. Yeah, to make my y stand alone, I have to divide by negative 3. Because I divide by negative 3, my sign will change. So my y, instead of being less than, will not be greater than. 6 divided by 3 will give me 2, so it becomes negative 2. So negative 2 becomes my answer. So y is greater than negative 2 becomes my answer. So thank you so much for watching. This is how we solve simple equations or simple inequalities in a linear way. This is how we solve it. This is all there is to it. If you divide by negative, you change the orientation of the sign, or if you want to rearrange and write your x on the left hand side, you need to make sure your sign is facing the variable that it is facing and don't switch it. So thank you so much for watching once again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Hello and welcome to my science tutorials. In today's video, we want to look at how to solve inequalities involving fractions. So let's start by looking at an example. Assuming we have x plus 1 on 2 minus x minus 2 on 3 is greater than 2. how do we solve this problem? Now, the first thing we need to do when we have these else fractions in an inequality is we need to make sure we get rid of the fractions that we have. So we do that by multiplying through by the LCM. Now, if we look at the denominators that we have here, 2 and 3, the least common multiple, or the LCM, is going to be 6. So we multiply through the inequality terms by 6. So it becomes 6 multiplied by x plus 1 on 2 minus 6 multiplied by x minus 2 on 3 is greater than 2 multiplied by 6. So from here, 2 can cancel 6, or 2 go into 6 3 times. So we now use the 3 to multiply what we have in the bracket. So we have 3 into bracket x plus 1 minus 3 will go into 6 2 times. So we have 2 outside bracket x minus 2 greater than 6 multiplied by 2 will give us 12. So from here, all we have to do is to simply expand the bracket and find the value of x. So if we do that, we're going to have 3x plus 3 here minus 2 multiplied by x will give us 2x. Then 2 multiplied by 2 over here, because the negative sign is over here, is going to affect what is inside the bracket. It will become positive 4 greater than 12. So from here, we can see 3x and negative 2x. That will give us x. 3 and 4 will give us plus 7. So we have x plus 7 is greater than 12. Then we proceed. So we have x plus 7 is greater than 12. So what we have to do here is to move the 7 to the other side of the inequality sign. So we have x is greater than, let me clean that. So we have x is greater than 12. We send the 7 to the other side, it becomes negative 7. So we have s is greater than. Our answer over here, we have 12 minus 5 will give me, 12 minus 7 will give me 5 as my answer. So my answer over here is s is greater than 5. Alright, let's have a look at another example. Okay, so the second example we want to look at is we have 12 outside bracket, then we have x plus 2 on 4 minus 3x minus 2 on 6 less than 12x minus 1. Okay, so this is our inequality, and how do we solve this? Now we can see that the 12 is multiplying the content in the bracket. So for us to easily solve it, we need to expand the bracket to see what we can do. So we have 12 outside multiplied by the first term in the bracket, which is s plus 2 on 4, then minus 12 multiplied by the second content, which is 3. The second content over here is 3x minus 2 on 6. Then we have less than 12x minus 1. So we can see that 4 will go into 12, or 4 divides 12 3 times. So we have 3 outside bracket x plus 2 minus 6 will go into 12 2 times. So we have 2 outside bracket 3x minus 2 is less than 12x minus 1. So if I expand my bracket, I'm going to have 3x plus 6. Negative 2 multiplied by 3s will give me negative 6s. Negative 2 multiplied by negative 2 will give me positive 4 less than 12x minus 1. I can see 3x, I can see negative 6s. So if I sum the two, I'm going to get negative 3x. I can see 6, I can see 4. So 6 plus 4 will give me 10 plus 10. Plus 10 is equal to, is less than 12x minus 1. Okay, so let me get more space so that we actually see what we are doing more. So using a different color to continue, from here we have negative 3x plus 10 is less than 12x minus 1. So from here we need to group like terms. So in grouping like terms, I'm going to maintain my negative 3x here. I bring my 12x to this side, it becomes negative 12x less than my negative 1 is here. I bring the 10 to the other side, it becomes negative 10. So I have negative 3x minus 12x will give me negative 15x is less than negative 1 minus negative 10 will give me negative 11. So I divide both sides by negative 15, negative 15. So in dividing both sides by negative sign, because I divided both sides by negative sign, my sign is going to change. So this implies that my x, okay, instead of being less than, is going to be what? Greater than. Negative will cancel negative, then we have 11 over 15 as our answer. So my answer in this case is going to be x greater than 11 on 15 as my answer. And the sign has changed from less than to greater than because we divided by negative, and because the coefficient of the x term is negative. So once we divided, we need to make sure we change the sign. Now let's have a look at one final example. Okay, so I have 1 over 3 x minus 2 over 3 rather plus 2 over 3 is less than 5 over 6s minus 1. So go ahead and try your hands on this inequality and see what your answer is. So pause the video and go ahead. Okay, so now that you are done, let's go ahead and solve this problem. So the first thing we have to do is that if we look through our inequality, we realize we have fractions inside. And because if we look at the fractions that we have 3, 3 and 6, 3, 3 and 6 here as our denominators. So we have to make sure we multiply through by the LCM of all these denominators. If we do that, the LCM of 3, 3 and 6 is 6, so we multiply each term by 6. So we are going to have 6 multiplied by 1 over 3x in 1, then plus 6 multiplied by 2 over 3 less than 5 over 6x multiplied by 6 minus 1 multiplied by 6. So from here, I know that my 3 will go into 2, or will divide 6 twice. So 2 multiplied by 1 will give me 2x plus 3 will go into 6 twice. So I have 4 here. The 2 here multiplied 2 at the top will give me 4. It's less than 6 will go into 6 just once. So I have 5 minus 1 multiplied by 6 will give me 6 at the end over here. So from here I have, this is 5x. From here I group like terms. So I maintain my 4 here. I bring the 6 to the other side of the equal to sign. It becomes plus 6 less than, I have 5x. I bring the 2x to the other side, it becomes negative 2x. So from here 4 plus 6 will give me 10 less than 5 minus 2 will give me 3x. So I divide both sides by 3. So if I divide both sides by 3, I'm going to get my answer to be x. Now because I'm dividing by 3 and not negative 3, the sign will remain the same. But because I want to write the s first, I need to make sure that the sign is still facing s, as we can see at this side. So my answer will be s greater than 10 over 3. I did not change the sign, I just made sure that the sign is still facing s, as we can see from this side. So my final answer is s greater than 10 over 3, and this is what you should get if you solve the example that I just gave. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.